And we're live. I don't know why I did that intro, but back again. 3 wins in a row. I think 3 episodes on the bounce or 2 episodes. I'm not sure, but Winners of the World podcast back again. Um, we got Dave and Hristo. We got the whole panel here for this. Hristo with his new mic. I'm sure he's ready to show off.
I mean, not really.
I get I get the mic check, the ASMR check.
We can,
Next,
we
we're gonna
can
have
look.
soap cutting videos.
No, no, no. All or Nothing, the Juventus Amazon documentary should be done in ASMR because it's gonna be fucking porn.
It comes out soon, right? Speaking of
Yeah,
I
that.
think
they
the
are. They are.
20th.
Yeah, it's this month. I know for sure because they announced it. So I'm looking forward to that. That's one thing for sure. They won't have to worry about the ratings because Inter fans are gonna be watching this shit on loop. You
Yeah,
know.
you'll be tearing that.
Bro, I
Oh,
said it. We're having a watch along. That's for sure. Like it's set from right now.
Let's do
We've
it.
waiting. We've been waiting for that shit for like what 7, 8 months.
yeah, I thought they were gonna cancel it. Honestly, I thought
Nah,
Agnelli
they
was gonna
already
pay him off to not do it.
they already had the deal, so I'm sure they couldn't. They had no choice on that one.
Beautiful. But to get back on to some winning talk, the win against Sheriff. We'll go ahead and start with that. Pretty standard win. I mean, the first half was boring. I'm not gonna lie, but you could tell a goal was coming. I was never really scared of Sheriff in this one, and
Mhm.
I kind of while I was watching the match, I was kind of attributing it to like, damn, we're lucky that we're the team in the group that got them last because the other two kind of had to be like canaries in the coal mine to go figure it out
Yeah.
and gave us enough to see and enough to prepare. And yeah, 2 easy wins that we needed from Sheriff. What do you think, Dave? Champions League, pretty comfy right now, or what?
Yeah, man. Honestly, from what we've seen the past two matches or Champions League matches, and if you want to say all matches included, you want to put the three matches, including the league as well. This team is catching form, and we seem to have found that balance because not only are we still creating lots of chances, but we're not losing our shape and it's not looking as bad and at the back. So yeah, I feel like we're quite comfortable in a group right now, and I'll even go as far as saying that we could get out first because Shakhtar, I feel like if when they come to San Siro, we have a bone to pick with them, and we will be motivated, and I feel like we will get that win. And Real Madrid, um, if we can replicate that performance from the first match and actually finish our chances this time, because they're still not that good. I was watching some of their match against Shakhtar yesterday. They won, but Shakhtar had plenty of chances, hit the woodwork a couple of times as well. So they're very gettable. So we have no excuse not to really get out of the group. And if we're even more serious, we should win it. So that's how I feel right now about the Champions League.
Yeah, I mean, firmly in the driver's seat. I haven't really felt this way since like, I mean, back-to-back wins the first season back. Tottenham and PSV. I mean, we had it in our hands
Hmm.
there and threw it away. But I mean, this is a different year. This is a different team. This is a team that's done it 3 times now. Definitely going to want to get out because, I mean, that many years of that kind of failure in a row are not going to sit well with anybody. So I think I would be happy with second in the group. I mean, you can't complain after how long it's been, but to
Hmm.
win the group and have, a better chance of drawing an opponent that you maybe can get to the next round against is also good to have. But Hristo, what do you think? Do you think this is a winnable group, or are you just gonna hope for second? Because I think if we win, if we beat Shakhtar, I think mathematically we should be through.
Yeah,
So
if we beat
Hmm.
Shakhtar, we're automatically in for sure.
okay, yeah. So winnable group or no? Hristo.
I mean, look, I think it's a winnable. Yeah, it's just lagging a bit. I think.
Oh yeah, my
Um,
bad.
I think the group is winnable. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I think Real Madrid is the one that controls the group because not only they're 2 points ahead of us, they're also playing Shakhtar or sorry Sheriff, who are also going into the Real Madrid match after two losses against Inter, and then they're playing Inter at home. They're the ones that should win the group because they have scored the most goals and considered the least. I think they're playing great football. They've showed a lot of character throughout the matches, and as Dave said yesterday against Shakhtar, and I mean it's a winnable group, but at the end of the day, what we need right now is just to go through because after the two previous unsuccessful Champions League seasons and whatever, I think it's our turn to prosper and to take a step ahead, which is going to the next round. I think next year we can have a proper transfer window. We can improve a lot more than we did this season, at least in some positions. I think we um, took a step back, but at the end of the day, results matter, and that's the most important factor. And if we go through, that's a positive, no matter the team, no matter the opponents, or whatever. As far as I think the Sheffield, what the fuck, the
Sheffield.
Sheriff match. I don't know why Sheffield. The Sheriff match. I mean, it was a roller coaster. We should have win that match easily. As you said, the first half was pretty up and down. It was not entertaining. It was pretty boring, and I just wanted this match to end a win, and let's focus on the derby because that's the most important match right now. There are a lot of points ahead. It's a 6 pointer for sure.
Yeah, yeah, good point. And that is a good thing. I didn't really think about that too much. That the past two games for Inter have been killed off pretty early. The Udinese game and this game.
Mhm.
Left Empoli a little late, but yeah, I mean, getting the result. You don't have to push in the last however many minutes that were left after the second goal for Inter. Even after the first goal against Sheriff, I was like, all right, I don't see them scoring with the way that this setup has been working this entire match.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
once we got that goal, I was like, all right, we got the second. That was great. Alexis Sanchez finally with some end product. I mean, that's also great.
Yeah.
Gonna need that guy down the stretch. So if he gets into scoring form, that's great for us. Um, but yeah, everyone kind of being able to let off the gas a little bit, maybe a little too much. I mean, giving up that late goal, but 3-1 against Sheriff, not bad. You'll take that, and then moving into the derby where
As
you
far
could
as
even
I
rest.
think, sorry.
Oh no, no, you're good. I was just worried we got the echo like we did that one time. I was like, oh shit. But yeah, everything killed off early. Even got to rest DeVry a little bit. Really good going into the derby, which is massive. I mean, it's more massive than anything so far this season. I mean, the Champions League. I mean, that was big, but that's Sheriff. That's like that's not the level quality team that you're going to be facing in. I hate to say it, in Milan right now. Um, but it's going to be a tough one for sure. This is the derby I've been the most worried about since the one, I think it was 2018-19 when we were, January, February, blackout, terrible form. Milan were hot and still managed to, flip that, get a win out of that. I think that
Mhm.
was March of 2019. But I haven't been as worried for a derby since then because it's kind of similar form running into it. Milan on this great run of form. Us starting to figure it out. I mean, starting to get legs under us, but not. This isn't the machine that was rolling through the end of last season by any means. Um,
When you say the scariest or the toughest match against Milan, do you think more of like Milan is so much or so good right now, or in terms of like importancy?
both because they are in a great run of form. If you're unbeaten in the league still, right? Yeah, they're
Mhm.
unbeaten in the league. So if you're unbeaten in the league, I mean, to this point in the season, I mean, you're starting pretty hot. It doesn't matter how good or bad your team is going to be over, the entire season. All we have is what we have right now, and this is, top two team in the league right now. So, I mean, they're playing good football. Um, I think they've gotten over that like mini injury COVID crisis they had. I was, I think we kind of said that this was where they were going to falter, but
Mm-hmm.
they scraped out the results. Some of them kind of ugly. So yeah, I think it's big with their form, and also on the importance of the season. You already called it a 6-pointer. Like we dropped points early this season, like we did last, and to really catapult yourself back into that title race talk and have everyone take you seriously, you have to win this match. You have to get that 3 points because that puts you 4 points back, and we also have Napoli after that. So, I mean, it doesn't get easier. So, I mean, it's going to be hard to ask 6 out of 6 from that, I'm going to say, just because, those teams are in the form they're in. But, I mean, you need at least one win. A draw, I think you can live with at this point in the season from either of these matches, but you can't lose either of these, at least for me.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because like after the Napoli match, we have Shakhtar at home. So basically, you have 3 matches that are being played at home. There's no travel. There's no anything. So we're playing Milan on the 7th, then Napoli after the international break, and then Shakhtar at home. So basically, this month you have only one game to travel, and that is Venezia on the 27th, which is like, what, 2 hours away? There's nothing. So we're in the top position when it comes to, resting players and having players prepared. So just bear with injuries, just, do anything that you can not to get injured on the international break. Have a full squad. The rest is here. The literal rest is in Inter's hands because, as I said, 3 weeks, no travel, no anything. Do the most.
Yeah, this is a very crucial month of November. I forget what the rest of the fixtures were. I think you just named them all off, but
Mm-hmm.
it's you need a lot of points this month to make up for the points you didn't get in September, October, and then to go. I mean, the Christmas period's always crazy, and it's also crazy to be talking about the Christmas period already. It still feels to me like the season just started. But coming up on that, you never know what's going to happen there. I think it is good that we'll have the majority of our tougher matches out of the way by the time we get there. Like that's a time where you just hopefully
Yeah.
we start to pick up points, but you really need it this month. I really haven't. I don't think I've sat down enough and really thought about the Derby. Just because I mean, on the back of all this Champions League stuff, we really needed those wins. I haven't really thought about the Derby. I don't know if Milan are missing anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know really what they're going to go with, but
Yeah.
whatever they put out there. If they put Romagnoli out there, okay, we got a couple of goals in us. But yeah, I
Yeah.
guess we'll
I
have to
mean,
see.
for me personally, it's been the same thing. I've been taking it as like a one game at a time type of thing because the Sheriff match was not a match for us to like overlook by any stretch of the imagination, especially given our position in the group at the time. Now we could breathe a little easier because we're second place. We're like in control of our destinies. Like technically, if we don't lose any of the remaining 2 matches, we should be fine. But I want us to go ahead and beat Shakhtar and beat them quite handily. And then after that, the Real Madrid match could be a whatever match. Um, but talking about the derby now, yes, now just like it was said as well after the Sheriff match, all the players were saying the same thing. Now we could focus on the derby. Now we want to win the derby. I think the one advantage that jumps out to me is Theo Hernandez. He got a red card the last match, so he's definitely going to be missing that. I wonder if Pioli is going to go with either Balo Toure or he's been playing Kalulu there as well. In any case, that means to me personally that Inzaghi should go with Dumfries right off the bat and put pressure on that flank because you won't have to worry about Theo like bombing up and down the other side. So that's a threat that we won't have to worry about more or less. So that could make us attack better. So that's one thing. And secondly, I feel like all of our weapons are getting sharp at the right time. We saw Correa like the last match where he had an explosion, and we know that's a guy that always plays well against Milan. So that's perfect timing that he's finding himself right before Milan. We saw Alexis. He had a good appearance off the bench. I think against Udinese he was pretty good, and he of course he got off to score and start last night as well. So that's good for his confidence. So that tells us that listen, Inzaghi is gonna have all his weapons, even since he's been fit for like 2-3 weeks now. So that's more football in his legs, more training. So that means that when he does come in for a 10-minute or 15-minute appearance, he's gonna be sharper. That's a player that listen, I could talk as much shit as I want, but every time he's fit, every time he's in the squad, I can't help but dream of what a player he is. So Vidal is the greatest form right now. That's a guy that's really gonna help us in that midfield. So Vidal, Barella, and Brozo should definitely be the start. Even if I know Hakan is gonna want to start, is gonna want to do something against his former team. So that's something that we're gonna have to use and bottle up for the second half, depending on how the match is going. So we have plenty of reasons to be motivated. We have fit players. We have players that are catching form, whereas they're missing. To me, well, besides from Leao and Brian Diaz, I think Theo has been their most dangerous player this season. So that's a very important weapon that they'd be missing. So I feel like that's an advantage that we should definitely be taking care of. And listen, we're the champions. We've been saying it. We've been banging our chest. Now it's time to go show it on the pitch. I think we could go and take care of business.
Yeah, for sure. And Fern gives a good point. I forgot. Magnon's still out.
Yeah, he's out till January, so it's
yeah,
not.
yeah, he's way out. And I don't think what's his face that they signed. I haven't seen. They signed him injured too. I forget who it was.
Grande.
Who?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah.
it's gonna be the same guy. It's gonna be Tata Luciano, whatever his name
Yeah,
is.
yeah, the Tyrannosaurus.
Tatarusano, yeah, I mean, they had Tatarusano on the bench, but they, as Mike pointed out, they signed Antonio Mirante, but he's still injured. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's played a minute for them yet. You know, so yeah, that's another advantage. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, I should have mentioned it, but with Mayan out, this is not a guy that they could trust, Tata Luciano. So we should be shooting. I know we're gonna have Vidal on there, Brozo take pot shots, so we should be able to get some goals. I don't feel like we're gonna lose. You know, if anything, my fear is that we're gonna start off well, like we've been doing. I see that's our trend in the big matches so far. We're gonna start off well, probably get an early goal, 15 minutes or 20 minutes in, and then I fear that Inzaghi is gonna cower and kind of pack it in like he's done, and then we're gonna concede, or it's too late to react, or something like that. So I hope I'm proving wrong. That's the worst case scenario for me, is that we draw, but I feel like both of those matches. Napoli will be harder, of course, but I feel like we should be the favorites to win both of them.
Yeah, I mean, especially being at home. I mean, Milan, that is technically Milan's home match, so I mean that changes the atmosphere in the stadium a little bit, but like I mean, it's still you wake up in your own bed, you go to your own dressing room in your own stadium, like.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. There's still that advantage for Inter. I don't worry about that too much. Of course, Napoli at home. I mean, but that's first match after international break. I'm never gonna try to judge one of those, especially this far out. But
impossible to predict.
Yeah, and then I like the point about Correa earlier. I wanted to bring that back up because that guy with Lazio, I mean, he would terrorize Milan for fun.
For real.
So, and I mean, we lost our last that designated Milan terrorizer with Lukaku. So, I mean, we need a guy who likes scoring against this team that is up front. Even though I don't think he'll start, like I think it'll be Lautaro Dzeko. I mean,
I don't think he'll start.
Yeah, and I mean Lautaro still hasn't scored in like a while now. He's doing a lot of work. He's still helping the team, but
that's why I'm not really sweating it. He hasn't scored in a while for sure, but he's working. You know, he's working a lot. He's doing a lot for the team. So I'm not really complaining. You know, but the scoring is what's missing. But it's gonna come. If he wasn't doing anything else, then of course I'd call him out. But thank God, the way the team is built, it's like we're not relying on Lautaro to score. You know, the goals come from everywhere. We haven't longed for goals. You know, so we're fine.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah,
fine. He's fine.
yeah, that's true. So, I'm gonna get this question while we're on the Derby. Fern asking, what lineup do you want to see? I think it's a pretty standard lineup that we're gonna see. It's gonna be like Handanovic, the first
Mhm.
choice back three. Then I guess it'll probably be Perisic, and I think he'll probably start Darmian. I would understand and I agree that I would like Dumfries to start because
Mhm.
if they have neither of their first choice wingbacks, there's not really much width coming from them, I don't think.
Mhm.
So I'd like to see that, but I could definitely see. I mean, the other big matches, I'm pretty sure has been, I
Darmian,
mean, not
yes.
Darmian starting, yeah, and then Barella, Vidal, Hakan. I mean, not Hakan. Varela, Vidal, Brozovic is the midfield that I want to see. I don't want to see Hakan. Even though I think he'd have a decent match, but I don't need that on my timeline on Sunday. I don't need all that discourse around the derby. So yeah, Barella, Brozovic, Vidal, and then Dzeko Lautaro. Pretty standard lineup.
I mean, I'm just looking at the probabili formazioni from Gazzetta,
Mhm.
and they're saying that Baloture is injured, but Kalulu is supposed to play as left back for Milan.
Hmm.
The rest is pretty much ordinary.
Oh,
Tonali, Kessie, Ibrahimovic
lost him. Hristo, hold
in
that thought
front
if you
of,
hear me.
yeah, Darmian, um, and Çalhanoğlu as well. The rest, as you said, is pretty ordinary. So, I mean, I think
Bro,
Lautaro is gonna score.
bro, sorry.
Okay.
I think we lost you, so you have to do your lineup over again
Oh,
because it was
sorry.
chopping up.
I just wanted to say that I'm looking at the lineups, and Darmian is starting and not
Mhm.
Dumfries, according to Gazzetta,
Mhm.
as well as Çalhanoğlu instead of Vidal. And
Uh,
Lautaro hasn't scored in 6 matches. The last time he scored was against Sassuolo on the 2nd of October, so more than a
Okay.
month ago. 6 matches without a goal. Primetime match, a derby, which he loves. He scored against Atalanta previously. I think he's going to score. And I want to see a good performance from Çalhanoğlu as well.
Yeah, if
Mm.
Çalhanoğlu's in, we need a good performance. Even though, like, I would rather have that extra grit in the midfield in a big match like this, because I mean, winning the middle of the pitch is going to be huge. Keeping possession, because I mean
Mhm.
that's what Inzaghi wants to do. He's going to want to at least when we're attacking. I don't know if he'll shut up shop if we get a goal. I don't want him
Mhm.
to do that because you can't do that against this Milan right now. They will find a goal. They'll find a penalty. They'll find something. So, I mean, if Çalhanoğlu is the guy that's going to help you a little bit more in attack, I get it. But I'd rather have someone who's going to help get you the ball back in Vidal. Um,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
yeah.
but for me, as far as the lineup goes, I guess I'm with you guys. There's a difference between what I think he should do and what I expect him to do. So what I expect him to do is, okay, of course, Handanovic, the same back three. He is gonna start Darmian, his safety net, and he is gonna start Hakan instead of Vidal because I guess Vidal just played or whatever. Vidal's 34 years old, and Hakan did not play a minute yesterday. So that was the indicator right there that he's probably gonna start. And mind you, his form has been picking up, so this is not the time to be benching the guy. If anything, you should want to be playing him. So yeah, he's gonna start Hakan, and I feel like we'll be fine because Milan's three in the midfield. They're gonna be probably Tonali. You said they have starting Hristo,
Uh,
Tonali, and Benacer.
Tonali and Kessie, Selemakers, Brahim Diaz Leao, and Ibra.
Okay, so their midfield three is gonna be Brahim, Tonali, and Kessié. So Brahim is not the most physical guy, so that means that's a guy that Hakan could battle with or whatever. And as far as the other two, we have Barella and Brozovic, and we could match them and win that midfield battle. So I think Hakan is fine because it's not Milan or not this ultra physical side. That's where he struggles. And of course, we still have it in our pockets that we could still pull out Vidal in the second half. And to finish the starting lineup, of course, it's going to be Perisic, I think, and then Lautaro and Zeko.
Hmm.
I would like now that's what I expect, right? Now what I would like for him to probably start Dumfries for the reasons that I mentioned because of the left back situation going on right now in Milan. That's something that I feel like we definitely take advantage of. And I would start Vidal as well, because looking at that, I mean, the guy just played 90 minutes for sure, but looking at how he was playing, man, tackling left and right, every ball that we lose, this guy is already there, 2-footing. I'm surprised he didn't get sent off because it's a bunch of 2-footer tackles that he's doing, and he's timing it perfectly. Like, you gotta play this guy. If he has 50 minutes in him, give him the 50, and then you could put Hakan just so he could set the tone from the get go, as opposed to trying to bring him in the second half, like to change the course of the game. I like setting the tone as opposed to reacting. So that's what I would have done. And the starting two, the front two, same thing, Zeko, Lotaro, because I feel like Correa and Sanchez, these two, they're better off the bench. So yeah, that's definitely what I would do. And off the bench as well, I would definitely play Sensi. This game is gonna call for Sensi. So I want to see Sensi come off the bench instead of Vecino and Gagliardini.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, don't want to see. I mean, Vecino tends to show out in these types of matches, but hopefully he's
Yeah, he
not used
does.
to this. I mean, I would much rather, and I get what you were saying with starting Vidal and then bringing on Çalhanoğlu, but I do expect it to be the opposite because I mean, Vidal has shown that he can still come on at like 55, 60 minutes, put in like
Hmm.
a decisive 30, 35 minutes. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking he's going to want something more like that late, especially if we have a lead and then he wants to start, trying to shut up shop once you get to that.
Hmm.
And I guess maybe he thinks that Çalhanoğlu will provide more of an attacking threat early. Um,
Hmm.
that's the best that I can imagine from that because it seems to be the rule that it's either in one part of the pitch or the other. You have to have either DeMarco or Çalhanoğlu on for those set pieces. Like that's a real big part of our game right now. So I mean, we're not going to see DeMarco. I don't think. I don't think this is a match for DeMarco. I wouldn't trust him in this. So by default, it's got to be Çalhanoğlu out there delivering all the set pieces. So I mean, I'm
Hmm.
fine with it. I totally get it. We've seen the way that Inzaghi thinks about these matches, the way that he usually his preferred subs, his preferred starters. I mean, it's all getting pretty established right now, and
Hmm.
I can see that game plan. I just hope it works.
And speaking of gameplay, one thing I wanted to add, what I saw yesterday in a right wing back position, that's something that I would love to see again going forward. Because it seems like Inzaghi started Darmian as a safety net, more or less. Because remember, Sheriff's coach, he came out, he was talking about he studied us, and they're gonna be ready, they're gonna be different this time. So I guess he was expecting them to be a little more offensive. He started Darmian, and of course, you saw like they had nothing going on that left side, and what did he do? Like right at halftime, he made the change. He put on Dumfries, and Dumfries was automatically playing a little further up. So hopefully he can do the same thing and evaluate the situation. If Milan are starting Kalulu there, a guy that is a right-footed guy, is not comfortable there. When he has played there, he hasn't looked good. I've seen him a couple times. If you're starting that guy and Pioli is instructing them to just stay back and not even cross the halfway line, that should tell you automatically that you need to bring on Dumfries because that's something that you could exploit. So I hope that he can see it if it is there and recognize it right away and make sure that, because that's how we score goals. This team is having the overload of numbers and the combinations, and they just can't keep up with it. It's a beauty to watch this team, man. Inzaghi ball is finally setting in, and I enjoy watching this team because we're gonna create so much. We're gonna be frustrated by the missed chances, but every match that we turn on, we know that we're gonna see Inter score. So that was a little different from when Conte was coaching. We know that we're not gonna get scored on, but now we know we're gonna score some goals.
Yeah, I mean, whole point of the game is score more than the other team, and I
in
think
that
that
team. Yeah.
Inzaghi really takes that to heart. He's gonna score, but he's probably gonna give one or two up, here and there. But as long as you're up 3-0 and you give up one, that's fine. It's really if your game plan absolutely flops from the beginning and we go behind, I worry a bit more. I would feel a lot better if we got the first goal, even though it's been kind of a pattern where get the first goal, let it slip. I would much rather have the first goal in a derby, especially like first one of the season, teams finally starting to feel each other out for the first time.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, I'd really like to set that tone early. Um,
What about the goal that we considered yesterday?
Well, that what I saw is like we switched off, and from what I saw in the replay as well, like it's my guy, but it looks like it was Skriniar's fault. It was Skriniar's guy, and he was kind of slow to react, and the guy got a Traore, I think he got an early jump on him. It was too late, and there was nothing Handanovic could have done about it either. So it was one of those situations where it seems like we felt like we had it in a bag. If anything, we were closer to getting the fourth goal than conceding, you know. So out of nowhere, we just switched off and ate that goal. That's why I didn't rant about it or anything. Actually, I was in the middle of a tweet about three clean sheets in a row. I had to delete that part. But but hey, listen, man, we just switched off. That's what happened, and it's forgivable. But when you watching the team, the defense is much improved. We're not shambles back there anymore. We're not a mess. So I gave him that pass. They switched off, but as far as the defense goes, we're improving. So Inzaghi's doing his thing.
I mean, I
yeah,
think we said it last season best. Sorry, Mike. About the defense improving as a whole. When Conte started playing Ranocchia, more than often. When he started, giving Ranocchia 90 minutes a match, at least like every 3 games, and saying to Devray, just chill, sit on the bench for 90 minutes, do your thing, and let Ranocchia take over a bit. And he did that. And Ranocchia was amazing against Udinese last week, and that's something that we should celebrate, because at the end of the day, Ranocchia is not someone that is considered a great defender, let's say. And when you can have someone like that, play so good, that means that the system and the defense is finally working, because you can slot in every single player that you want that has a decent ability when it comes to defending, and then actually have an option from the back, and not rely on the defensive positioning of the players, the defensive movement of Brozovic, I don't know, Vidal or Barella or whoever it is.
Mhm.
I just wanted to point it out because I was really impressed by Ranocchia once again, because last season we were praising him when he played. He didn't have a single bad game, so
Mhm.
bravo to him.
No,
I
for
think
sure,
the.
for sure. That's
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead. Thanks, Mikey. Yeah, I mean that's a guy that we've all cracked some Ranocchia jokes in the past, and I'm sure we've all wanted him out of the club for whatever reason, just because of the traumatic memories that we had of when he was supposed to be our guy, our main superstar defender, but he kept on flopping and flopping and flopping. But I'm glad that he stuck it through. A guy that was a captain, and he went from that to being a bench warmer, that a guy that's not guaranteed to even play against smaller teams, and we never hear any complaints. Everything we see, he's always the first one to go cheer with his teammates when we score, and the guys go to him as well. So you see that it's a mutual thing. He's a good figure in a locker room, and I think that's why Inzaghi we rewarded him yesterday after we went up 3-0. Like, yeah, let's throw him in for a Champions League game, just to show him we appreciate him and stuff. And it's too bad we conceded, but yeah, I like stuff like that. It's good for the locker room, for the morale, because it's a long fucking season, man. Everything could be going peachy right now. Because I remember last year there were The press was picking up stories about how the Milan locker room was all in unison and how they were showing up to training on their off days and shit like that. I remember that they were eating all that up. But towards the end of the season, it was stories about how they don't like Ibrahimovic. They feel he's annoying, he's arrogant, he's this, is that, this issue, that issue. As the locker room came apart. So little things like D'Ambrosio going to celebrate with Dumfries after he scored a goal, and I'm not sure if you guys noticed that, but somebody pointed it out on Twitter. I hate doing that without giving the person credit, but if you see it, just credit to you. But somebody pointed that out after Dumfries had that assist to Correa on our second goal versus Udinese. We saw both Ranocchia and who else? It was a second, another like
I think it was
senior
Perisic.
Perisic and Ranocchia both went to him and they congratulated him and they made sure to tell him like, okay, you know what, you're doing good. Just like when you fuck up, people could get on you. Like we want to make sure that we give you that morale boost. So that's good for the squad and hopefully it stays the same way so we could win the championship again.
Yeah, that's a big thing. And I think the thing with Ranocchia over the past few seasons has really been the times that he has been put into matches. The matches he has been put into have really been chosen well. Like, I mean, it's not that they're putting him in against nothing but slouches, but it's always, where he's got protection on both sides. He's always starts with the other two main starters. It's always De Vrij out, Skriniar and Bastoni still in when he's playing. So he's got that protection. He has always had the passing, so he's working. He just is distributing the ball, and I don't think he ever really plays against like any insanely fast center forwards because that would cause some problems. But
Yeah.
every match he's put into, it's a good matchup for him, and we're not putting him out to dry. And as long as those matches can be identified and he's inserted, and that gives a massive rest to De Vrij, I mean, you can't ask for much more. It's the same thing when D'Ambrosio comes in for Skriniar and puts in a decent shift, or DeMarco for Bastoni. All those guys, and that's something we complained about for the past couple of years. Like those guys need serious rotation options. And now that they kind of do, I think it's a little bit more comfortable out there for everybody.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
And the most annoying thing then when we talk about rotation players or backup options is that they don't get enough chances, or they didn't in past seasons. And then when we have an injury of a crucial player, then when Ranocchia, for example, is given a chance after he didn't play for 20 matches, and he plays like shit, everyone is on his back. Like that shouldn't be done. He should get a chance every like 3 matches, as we pointed out. And that's why I think our biggest weak, or the weakest point when it comes to the rotation options was that when we didn't play Champions League. I think when Conte arrived in his first season, things changed, and that was a positive start for the rotation players and the backup players. And as the seasons went along, I think that has improved a lot. We, at least last season, we were very relieved when it comes to injuries, and we were not as hard hit as other clubs, and that played a huge role. And I think this season we obviously can manage that, except in few cases when the injuries are basically inevitable. I think we can manage that by using the rotation options and not overplaying players. I mean, Brozovic, I think he has played 90 minutes for every single fucking game under Conte. And this season, in the first few matches, I think it was Brozovic who was taken out first by Inzaghi. And that surprised me, caught me off guard. I was like, I'm not used to this. But it's a good thing, because finally he gets a rest, and he showed up once again in the Champions League. I saw a stat that he received 3 players of the or man of the match awards or out of 4 games, which is huge. So that's a huge recognition, and hopefully his forms continues, and we are still improving when it comes to player bases.
Yeah, and that is the thing about Inzaghi. Like, oh, sorry, I just want to finish.
No, go ahead, Mikey.
Because I was about to forget it. So, but that's the thing about Inzaghi. even at Lazio, when he didn't have much of a squad, he would still rotate when he felt he needed to rotate. He wouldn't ride his guys, too hard. And whether that was, to great effect or if that was to, detriment to Lazio, I mean, they just didn't have as deep a squad as we do. And I think that is something that, Inzaghi is enjoying having now. And he has a little bit more freedom to change things up because, I mean, I'd like to see. I don't know where I'd go to look for this. I don't know if Transfermarkt or SofaScore or anywhere would have it. But how many matches have had the same starting 11 this season?
Oof.
I feel like it would be, about 40, 50%. But then, the other half, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of stuff has been, a lot of moving
Yeah,
parts.
yeah. Yeah, there's been a lot of changing because, mind you, on the right side alone, there's been musical chairs going on with Darmian and Dumfries. We have no clue who's starting, regardless of form. We don't know who is gonna start. And also, same thing on the left because DeMarco, he's tried ways to get DeMarco some starts, whether he's benching Bastoni for the game or whether it's benching Derisic. So yeah, we've had combination of lineups now that I'm thinking about it. And same thing as the midfield position. Hakan's injury and his questionable form, of course, they've caused some changes in the midfield as well. So some matches we had Gagliardini start. I think Vecino started a couple matches. Vidal as well. So yeah, that's why we've been having lineups galore. That's good because we're deep, but I don't know so much if that helps if we can't find or starting 11 that we can actually stick to and make sure that we know that's our first team and that they have that continuity with each other, But I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I still think we have that. Like when I was going through and I was like, yeah, we know the first choice back three. We know who the best three center backs in the team are.
Mm-hmm.
We know Perisic is the more guarantee on the left. The right, yeah, still is a little bit of back and forth. Up front, I think Dzeko Lautaro, I think you're going to see that most of the season. So, I mean, there's just a couple of spots where you're not 100% sure. Usually that third midfield spot and that right side spot. So if you only have two kind of question marks, I feel like that's not the worst thing ever. I mean, yeah, you'd like to have something more consistent, but if you need to chop and change depending on the match because we don't have the most well-rounded or youngest third midfielder and we don't have if we had, like I've said before, a combination, like if you could combine Dumfries and Darmian into one player, that would be one of the best right wing backs in the world. But
Yeah, yeah.
you have one who's
I
the safety
mean,
net.
you don't even have to combine anything, bro. Like if we could just do a brain implant, take Darmin's brain and implant it into Dumfries, because Dumfries has all the weapons, man. He's built like that'll win back when he stretches his legs and decides he's gonna run. I mean, you get shades of Hakimi. I hate to say it, like when he runs, when he's running, when he's covering ground, it's almost the same thing, but as far as like his decisions, it seems like he's almost a one trick pony because he's trying that little cutback a lot, a lot, a lot. You know, he got an assist with it, but I need to see more when he gets the ball on the wing. Like try some crosses, try to get in the box yourself, try to shoot. Because teams are gonna be able to predict you that way. So hopefully he keeps working, man, and learn soon.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. I don't see why he can't improve, and I don't see how he won't improve. Like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
one of the big things that I hope Inzaghi might try that, really helped with Hakimi was when Hakimi first came in, he was playing all the way up front. Like he was playing that pure almost a winger spot.
Only a
And
winger, yeah.
then yeah, and then
That's why Milan Twitter were mad when we're comparing him to Tail. Like, look at this guy. This guy's a winger.
yeah, yeah. But he dropped him back a little bit. Not
Yeah,
very
yeah.
far, but like just a little bit in like his average positioning, and that allowed him more space to run instead of more space
Great
to just
shot.
stand. And
Hmm.
so if we can get him, get him to start running, get him to beat that guy instead of trying to, be more physical with that guy. Just let him run
Hmm.
past the guy. I think that would help him a whole lot. But the
Yeah,
only problem is I don't think we have a striker that can keep up with him to get into the middle.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so it would have to be a
Except
cutback because
Korea, maybe.
yeah, maybe Correa. I do like what I've seen, but he kind of he cuts in from that left, and then
Yeah, yeah.
um, Dumfries is on that
Well,
right, all the way getting chalk on his boots. We
mhm.
need someone who can just catch up to him and get right there on the penalty spot and
And
wait
you
for
can
that
just
low
lay it right in
cross.
front of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. You're right, 100%. Good shot, Mikey. But
yeah,
hold on. So pretty much, I think they practice it. They of course see each other in training because that assist to Korea,
Hopefully.
he that assist to Korea, he didn't look up. He just did it, and Korea was there. So I don't know if it was instinctive, but it looked like it's something that they worked on. But I wanted to shout out Fern, man, because that's a guy that every time we're recording, he's always there. He's always participating and asking questions. So Fern, thank you, man. We appreciate you, King Darian, everybody that joins. Saeed, you're not there, but we appreciate you too.
I just wanted to point out the what Borrell did in the past two matches. Shooting what 7, 8 times against
Yes,
such opponents.
I'm
And when
not.
you mentioned like, yeah, we don't have a striker, as you said, as Lukaku, someone that can hold up the ball and do whatever he did. I mean, we have an improved Barella that can
Yeah, yeah,
actually hold up the ball, that can actually go into the opposition's box and actually be a threat, a legitimate threat. Someone that can shoot, they can score, then he had the ball, they can tackle, and they do anything that he wants. So Dumfries, alongside Barella and a striker is a killing combination.
yeah, for sure.
Well, here's the thing. It's like I'm not gonna lie. I must admit that he was annoying me a little bit because like this guy was shooting and
Oh my!
shooting and shooting and shooting and shooting. Like,
You
and
hate all the
most of
good
them.
players.
I didn't say I hate him. You see that, Mikey? Listen, mediate, Mikey. You're supposed to mediate. Listen, but
Nah, Hristo is just number one hater. It's all right.
see, Heat fans. That's what they do. But no, I like what he's doing. I like the fact that I'm sure that's something that Inzaghi is pushing on him. Like, listen, you need to develop that aspect of your game. Take your shot because he's switching it to his left, trying to shoot, switching it to the right. There's a couple of times where he had the obvious pass I think he could have made that he chose to shoot instead. There was one where Dumfries was wide open and he shot instead. So I guess we're picking and choosing, but we're watching the development of the player right now. So it's growing pains, I guess. But we know he has the quality. So if he starts putting those shots on target consistently, then that's a whole different aspect of his game that's going to be developed, and of course, it's going to be better for us as Inter. So let me shut up.
Yeah, Barella really was annoying me in the first bits of the last two matches with his shots. But other than that, I mean, if he's gonna take a couple shots, you let him figure that out because I mean everything else he does on the pitch has been class. So let him figure that out. I'm not too worried about that. I do want to take this question though, because it's starting as you know Brozovic continues to put in good performances, and the end of his contract just keeps getting closer every day. It's kind of looming now. Thoughts on the Brazo contract situation? If he leaves, who's your choice to take over? That was from Fern. God, it's so hard to tell. I mean, there was a point where I didn't think they'd get the Lautaro deal done. I didn't think they'd get the Barella deal done, but they got both of those done. So, I mean, I think Inter can find a way. I think Morata can find a way, but it's going to be up to whether or not Brozovic himself wants to stay. He's pushing 30 now. He may want to go elsewhere to try something.
Yeah.
You never know. I don't know what other clubs across the continent and in England are going to try to throw at him or what they have tried to throw at him. I don't know. But
Mhm.
I mean, I think the club can get it done. I think it's really going to be up to the player. But if he
Yeah.
leaves, I don't even know. That's like Thiago Malta type gap. Like I don't know what you do there.
Nah, for sure, 100%. Well, here's my thing, man. Is I'm after the reports that I started seeing today, I'm beginning to be worried because I was quite confident. Like, yeah, the guy's been here for what 8, 9 years. He developed here as a player. He's had worse times here when he was supposed to leave and didn't leave. Why would he leave at his pinnacle? It seems like he's an inter-lifer type of guy to me. But when you see the pattern of the team, it's like we're renewing Barella, we renewed Bastoni, we renewed Lotaro. So it seems like it's an age situation going on there. And as you mentioned, Mikey, he's pushing 30. And mind you, we just gave Hakan 5.5, and he's not gonna want anything less than 6 from what I'm reading. And I'm not sure if we could even afford to offer him that,
But
and
I think considering
mhm,
that we're offloading someone like Eriksen in the winter,
uh-huh,
possibly to
right.
Ajax, there's a huge gap in between what Onana earns, which is like 3 mil per season, and you're giving
Hmm.
up Eriksen who earns like what 8.
Yeah.
So you can use that
No,
gap of money and extend someone like Brozovic.
but isn't that what Hakan is covering though? Hakan is kind of taking that slot because I believe Ericsson's salary is being paid by insurance this season because of the situation. So
Hmm.
that 7.5, because I think that was our ceiling. We had Lukaku and Ericsson both at 7.5. I think that's being used by Hakan making 5.5. So we kind of save two there, right? Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
how it
I'm
works?
But the
we
thing
can.
is, is we still the Lukaku salary's already gone too. I mean, I guess that's what's been split up and gone to these renewals. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you also can look ahead. I mean,
Zeko ain't cheap either. I think Zeko's on what 5.5, 6, something like that. Like
maybe. I mean, I don't remember when he signed. I just remember like peanuts as a transfer fee. Like I think
yeah,
because of
yeah,
his
yeah.
Champions League appearances, I think we owe him like 1.5 million or something. I don't know, but
Mhm.
you still can take into account. I mean, Perisic is leaving. I think we pretty much all know that at this point. I could be wrong. That's what I'm really thinking. I think Perisic is going to be out after this season. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so whatever he's on, I mean, I think some of that could go into it. But yeah, I
Sanchez.
Sanchez. Oh yeah, you got to get rid of him. He's making way too much to be doing what he's
Thank.
doing.
Yeah.
I think he's
Yeah.
He's a
offloaded
he's
after the season ends.
he said it himself. He's a Lamborghini man. We got Lamborghini on the bench, paying Lamborghini money, bro.
Yeah, he is getting paid Lamborghini money, and gas prices are going up. So we need to get him off the books.
Hey, listen. Wait. Listen, that's the thing about us, man. We be ignoring the question. I never answered the question. So back to the first question, right? Um, I have one name in mind, and we were linked to him at
I'm gonna
some
say
point, but I
Casilla.
don't. No.
Yuri
Renato
Tillemans.
Sanchez. I like Renato.
Ah,
Renato Sanchez.
Okay.
That's who I would bring in if we were to lose Brozo. That's a guy I feel like we could kind of plug in, and he could do kind of the same thing, and right next to Barella and whoever else would be. Um, who else I had in mind? Because I had a couple of names. Honestly, that's one thing I like to do. I like doing that little fantasy football kind of FIFA shit. Like, okay, who are we gonna replace?
Sofian Amrabat.
Nah.
No, bro. Listen, this guy's failing at Fiorentina. Boo, bro. What's wrong with you? Like this guy's failing at Fiorentina. What makes you think he can make the jump at Inter? If Napoli
I
could
mean,
give us one of their midfielders, it'd be cool.
Zielinski.
back on Zelensky again.
Fabian, Zelensky. You guys already know how I feel about Zelensky, so I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna go there.
Bro, you feel about Zielinski the way you feel about every single player in the league.
What do you?
Leao.
Leao, come on. No, we're
What?
talking
I
about
mean,
Come
really.
on.
Look, look, look,
you see
look.
this? You
Wait.
see this, Mikey?
Pause. Timeout.
Help me,
Flag
Mikey.
on the
Help me.
play. Yellow card. We're talking about
On
midfielders
Hristo,
right
right?
now. We're talking about midfielders right now. Um, if you can slander him over a midfielder, I won't say anything. But keep it in the midfield. Nah,
I'm trying to think.
but for me, who would I don't even know who. I'd want to bring in. I mean, I think Kessie could still be an option. I hate to say that. I think he'd be
Yeah.
No.
it would be in tandem with someone else. He wouldn't be the starter, but I think him in tandem with someone else could be something if, we still are scraping through couch cushions for like pennies. I mean, that could be something. Him and then someone, also from Syria who's not gonna
Luis
go
Alberto.
a high fee. I mean, if you could keep Sensi fit, I mean, you got him in house, but I don't think he'll ever stay fit enough. I guess I
He's a
haven't.
low and a good option for Sensi.
Is what alone?
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, but you also need that depth because do you really want Vecino and Gagliardini back right in that spot, that first sub, first
What
midfielder off the bench spot behind Vidal?
What about someone like Nandes coming to Inter and Sensi going to Cagliari out on loan? A sun, beautiful beaches, beautiful weather, relaxing,
That could
small
be,
club. That,
that is, I kind of like that idea, honestly. I think because Nandez can do that midfield spot and he can go out on the wing. It's 2 for 1, and he's not a guy that's very injured very often.
Yeah, true, true.
So
Look who it is. The Sharpster.
he's out of
Charms.
the Bat Cave.
It's the same Batcave, but I just have my lights turned on up there.
He bought some IG model ring lights and he's got them, for his eyes and all that.
I mean,
Hristo's an
I bought,
influencer now.
He got the mic. He's moving different now.
bro. I downloaded TikTok. I have a ring light. I have a
Hristo's doing dances
microphone.
and stuff.
The only thing I need is now is OnlyFans.
Oh
No.
Hey, listen,
You keep
there are
that
kids that
one.
listen
You
to this
keep that
podcast,
one.
guys.
Yeah,
There's kids that listen to this podcast.
Oh Lord, man. Oh yeah, Brothers of the World Patreon coming soon. Kidding.
Listen, anything for the bag, man. So what's up? We want to do some predictions. What's up?
Predictions, and then I want to hear Mikey's thoughts on the Atlanta or whatever Braves season, whatever it is.
Yeah. I'll give my little.
I need to
spiel
hear that firsthand.
because
Mike, the final prediction for the Derby.
2-2. I'll go with a draw. I just something about it. I feel like both teams are going to be scoring. I mean, both teams have question marks as goalkeepers, so I could really see it being a 2-2. I'd like a nice, comfy 3-1, 2-0, but I just think with a derby, especially first one of the year, with the way form is running right now, I think a draw is a very realistic hope to have, and I'm usually not that realistic. Like usually I'll go for the win, but I don't know. I don't want to be too let down if it goes south.
Yeah, I'll go 2-1. Actually, 2-1 Inter. I think probably Skriniar on the corner, and Zeko is gonna get a goal as well, and Ibrahimovic is gonna manage to get a goal. So 2-1. That's what I see, and I feel like what it is the fact that those squads are just still so similar. We have a mental edge over them. Like our guys aren't scared of those guys over there. We know that we not routinely, well, we beat them handily. Last time we saw them, because we were mad, we beat them 3-0. So it's something that, of course, we don't have Hakimi, we don't have Lukaku, but I feel like we should be able to beat those guys. We don't have that mental block that we have against Juve, because even Juve, we were up 1-0. It seems like we're still scared of them. We're scared to put our foot on their necks. But Milan is kind of different because it seems like we like playing them, and we always do well when we do play them.
First of all, Sharma is the type of guy to go to a Jaguars against the Dolphins in a game in the UK, so
His
opinion doesn't really matter. No, but he looks like a guy that would go.
It was in London.
I mean, it is the Jaguars,
I mean, that's the most interesting thing happening at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So
not until now, since Conte is their coach.
Oh yeah, that's about to be
Uh,
fireworks, bro. Like
it's
their
gonna be
Amazon
fun.
series, their Amazon series came 2 seasons too early, bro. They should have had it
Ooh.
this year with Conte.
Imagine if Conte was the one to replace Mourinho at the end of that season. Oh
Oh,
my
Lord.
god, that documentary would be fire. As far as the match goes, I think 2-1 as well, as Dave said, but I think Lautaro is one that will score the first goal in the first
Mhm.
15 minutes. 1-1 by someone like, Kessie, after we shit talked and whatever we said or I said about him in the past month. And I want to see a Hakan Çalhanoğlu winner. I want to see that so badly.
Wait. The people
I,
want to know. The people want to know. Does he celebrate? Does he celebrate?
he takes off his shirt and he slides like Adebayor in front of the suit.
So he runs to the
That
curb suit.
and he just slides over, bro. That's the best fucking celebration ever. If he does that, I'm fucking buying his shirt right away.
Enter legend if he does that.
I'm not for real. Listen, it doesn't take much, bro. He's a legend to me if it does that. Just give me material. Just give me material to talk shit on Twitter.
Yeah,
I will use that gift
that
every
in
match.
gift form would be everywhere.
Exactly my fucking point.
Oh god.
Mike, the Braves, go on.
Okay, so
So sorry, were they favorites to be in the
nah,
World
they weren't.
Series or whatever?
No, they weren't. They were the team. Yeah, we're going into baseball now. If you don't want baseball, we'll see you in the next
I
one.
mean,
But
it's 1 hour in. No one, no one that really cares about us
their
is in the
brain's mush
They're
if
still
podcast.
they made it
around.
this far. Yeah.
Everybody's
Yeah,
still here are friends, right?
Yeah. Everyone
yeah.
here is real. So yeah, King Darian, as soon as we started the stream, popped in, said, "Is that a Braves jersey?" I didn't get to it, but yes, bro, it is. I even got the new stadium. It's the inaugural season patch. So I mean, it's a nice jersey, but yeah, they weren't favored. I mean, they won 88 games this season. That was the least out of anybody who made the playoffs. Um, Nobody
Wow.
had them picked to win. They had like, I forget what the percentage chance was, but going back to July, I mean, they were not a winning team. Ronald
So kind
Acuna
of,
Jr. was out.
so,
Torres
kind of like Inter. If we made it to the second round, nobody's gonna be picking us to win.
Yeah. So this is the precursor to the Inter Champions League miracle run
Yes, sir.
this
Yes,
season.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then we'll be talking about DNA.
Yeah. So yeah, Braves. I mean, back in July, had like a 0.3% chance of winning the World Series. Make a
Wow.
bunch of trades. Really moneyball their way into all of this. Um, got hot at the right time. They were a good team with a good clubhouse. It got hot at the right time, and took down a 100 something win Dodger team. Took down a really good Houston team, and yeah, it was very cathartic for the team that it was the team of my childhood because Inter football just isn't around, at least where I'm from. Like, wasn't around. I had that's something Inter I had to find myself. That's what I fell into. Like, the Braves were more of a family thing, so like it was very cathartic to see after years of shitting the bed after being terrible to see a win.
It's such a nice story as well.
Yeah,
Such a
and
nice
for it
story.
to be like the Cinderella story that it became, it was a fun, stressful October. And I would go from like Inter match to Braves game, and I was just tired, man. That was too much. That's too much emotion. That's roller coasters of emotion. So, but
Uh,
yeah. Glad it's over.
who
Glad I'm still rapping.
who was your hockey team?
Hockey team? Oh, the Hurricanes, Carolina. I mean,
Are they any
that's just
good?
low. Oh yeah. One of the best teams in the NHL right now.
Okay.
So
Do you have
I'm
a
on, I'm on a
healthy
good run
You
Hristo?
right now.
said
I'm on a good run right now. Inter's good, Braves are good, Canes are good. I can't ask for anything more.
the Kings are what?
8-0 right now.
No, no,
All my
no. What
first
sport?
eight matches. Hurricanes, hockey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you,
I don't do NFL and I don't really do NBA. I know you got your Heat shirt, your
bro,
fresh Heat shirt.
those are the two best sports that you have over there,
Damn, you stressing him out, Mikey.
Nah, he's hit
bro.
me. Look, no, he hits me with this all the time. He's like, "Why do you watch baseball? You've got
Bro,
NFL
like
right there."
exactly. I didn't get the hype again around football until last year, and I started watching. It was so enticing, and above everything, I think it's a sport that everyone can get into. It's
So,
complicated, but it's a perfect sport for highlights because
so
it's snippets.
Jaguars,
It's a
Dolphins, and Skopje next season.
oh fuck no, I'm not going to that game. But it would be fun, A for effort. I'm not going. I'm not watching the game, bro. When did
He's gonna
Roma
go,
play
Mikey.
Milan?
He's just not gonna let us find out. He's gonna go because this guy loves the
I
NFL. He's
mean,
gonna go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a crush on the NFL this season for some reason. I have to say it. I did watch the Chiefs or whoever it was this weekend instead of Roma Milan. I have to admit that.
Chiefs and
I just
Giants.
tuned. I think it was. Yeah, no, the Chiefs and Giants were later that night. I think it was the Patriots against the Chargers.
Oh, you watch that instead of wow.
That's a
Damn,
weird. That's a weird choice too.
for real. Like it's not, and he's not. Aren't you a Bucks fan? Like you're not even invested into that
A
game.
Bucks fan?
Buccaneers, yeah.
No, I don't.
Uh,
I don't even. I don't,
no,
look.
Cardinals, right? Arizona.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I tweeted even last season because I won a bet on
Oh,
them, and they're actually really good this season. I was like,
no, yeah,
I was
they're one
looking
of the
to
best.
I was talking to Chapo last year, and he was like, "Oh, this and that. The Cardinals, they have like Hopkins and whatnot. They're really decent." I was like, "I'll bet on them," and they were losing like I don't know, 20 something to a single point. They scored like 3 touchdowns and they won the game, and I was fucking thrilled. It was against the Seahawks, and I was like, "This is my fucking team." Even though I don't have the emotional capacity to support two actual teams, I can't do that shit. Kudos to Mike. I just like I cannot get
It's not
into.
fun. It's a curse.
I don't- it's a curse because most often than not, the teams will be shit, and you have to
But that's
bear
just
with it all.
sports. I mean, unless you're gonna bandwagon, Juventus, you're
Exactly.
gonna bandwagon whoever. Yeah, it's gonna be.
It's gonna be ups and downs, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But my point is that if you are riding with Inter and Inter is shit, you're riding with one team. If the Braves, the Canes, and Inter are shit, you are fucking
Yeah.
a suicide watch.
Well, I mean, no,
That's the
you just kind
difference.
of, you get to the point where you tune one out for the other. You know, you still follow, but you gotta do
Yeah,
damage control because you can't be
yeah,
wasting all your
for
time.
sure, for sure. Like for like me, like I'm a diehard. Well, I was a diehard Giants fan around the time when we were winning the Super Bowls. After Eli won the second one in 2010, but we've been shit, bro. Like, and I find myself just tuning them out. They're playing. I could be available. The match is there. I won't tune it in. I'll check the score, see if it's interesting. But like when the team is shit, like you see they've developed a pattern of losing. I don't want to put myself through that emotion, especially with football. NFL is such an emotional sport with the hits and everything going on. You really get into it. So when they lose, it will shut your day up. So I don't let them fuck me up.
Bro,
Now my
Yeah.
that's
Knicks,
why
my Knicks have been good the last couple of years. So now I'm just now starting to watch
bro,
full matches, full
you
full
know,
games.
my NBA knowledge goes as far as like 3-4 years ago when I really was watching like a lot of games, and I knew like I was betting on at least small bets, but I only bet because I wanted to
Mikey,
watch
do
the
you
game.
see this? It's not like a guy that really loves sports like that. It's just a degenerate gambler that happens to use
Hey, I
sports
mean,
to make money. But
we've
go
got
ahead, go ahead.
we've got
Yeah,
oh, what's that movie? What's that movie? Fucking Uncut Gems over here.
Yeah,
I
bro,
do.
that's who he is. Adam Sandler from
No,
He's
Uncut
like,
Gems.
this is
but
how I'm living.
I like the thing with those sports is that I don't have any. Why would I watch an NBA game, for example, right now? I don't support anyone. I don't give a fuck about anyone. Exactly. I mean, and that's why
That,
I
that,
mean,
that wasn't a compliment. Talking about exactly.
Oh my God,
Exactly.
Ian
I don't give a
taking
fuck,
Ian out of left field right now. Hristo's
Oh, that's
bro.
emotional. He
Ian. Oh,
watches for the
okay.
I
bets.
I can't even fucking express my feelings, bro. You're making me look like I'm putting my house up for sale to bet on the
Oh,
Knicks against the Chargers.
well, I mean, at least you're not the guy from IFTV because you put.
Yeah, he bet his house on
You put
Milan.
No, but like my point is that I was following the NBA closely because I really like Curry back in like 2012, the Olympics in London, and I was like, this guy's fucking decent. I never like I wanted them to win, but I really loved him as a player. I didn't have any feelings towards the
He was a
Warriors. I
Ronaldo
just
type
really
fanboy.
but like I don't have the emotional capacity to support them. And I was like, I will enjoy. I watch the games and whatnot, and
You know,
same with the
honestly,
NFL.
honestly, that's the way to watch. Like, I watch a lot of hockey now because, and like, I still watch, like Serie A. I don't watch Premier League much anymore because of, the Peacock
Great
paywalls and all that
success.
shit.
Fuck the Premier League. Fuck English football.
I enjoyed it. And
Oh,
I'd still
fuck off.
watch.
Fuck you and your championship games,
I'd
bro.
still watch
That
the
pisses.
championship if I could
Oh,
find it. I
fuck
think it's still on
no.
ESPN Plus. Watch a little bit of Scottish football. But yeah, like to watch and just be like, oh, that was a good goal, or like, oh wow, what a play, is a lot better than just being like, fuck every time.
That's why I really like football for us so far because American
Okay,
football.
don't get
Because,
attached. Just don't get attached. I used to have
bro,
the
I think
attachment. I watched the Panthers. Those were my guys. They crushed me twice in 2 Super Bowls, and I was like, all right, I can't do this anymore.
the thing is, like, I've liked a lot of other like clubs. I like when Dave says, "Oh, I like this player." I like, for example, I don't know, someone like Werder Bremen, but I just cannot get attached to them. Like, to no other club than Inter. I don't know why. Like, I've tried, following the Cardinals. I like them. I just don't give a fuck if they lose. I don't even watch the games week in week out. I don't have the emotional, connectivity or connection with them. When I watch football, for example, and that's like this season has been so like relaxing for me, is that I don't have any course in the race. I just
Yeah,
watch the game. I bet on like small bets. For example, I don't know, the Chiefs to win or the Chiefs to score 31 points, and I'm watching the game with I don't know $1 on the Chiefs, and that's it. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. I'll still have like 3 hours of fun time, cheering and whatnot. I'll sleep like a fucking baby.
That's a good way to look at it. I mean, that's a win-win. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
Exactly. That's
That's a
my point.
win-win.
It's like
yeah. I mean,
I would rather.
You do enough suffering with Inter. We all
Inter
do.
Oh,
for
So
we've suffered a lot, and we deserve this relaxing time.
yeah, yeah. Oh man, you
It
know,
seems like no one likes the Premier League.
I still don't feel like I got to celebrate this Scudetto fully. Like I feel
I
like whenever the next one comes is gonna be much sweeter than this past season. I don't know. Maybe that's a discussion for another episode because I think us being
mhm.
on, balling on a budget, free Anchor and
They're
StreamYard.
about to cut us off.
I don't think we get more than an hour and a half. So we're at an hour and 12. We gotta wrap it pretty soon.
It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna make it big soon. You see, Hristo already getting mic, so I mean, we got some money coming in. Soon we're gonna have the premium content. Look at that. Look at
Ooh,
that.
got the green light. She looking like my
Shiny,
Xbox
shiny,
controller.
shiny.
All right, I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go.
I got nothing.
ASMR. Just
No, my
relax.
my little old Sony headset's gotten me through like this entire however many episodes. I think this is 61 episodes now on
Oh
this
fuck
one poor
me!
little guy.
It's been
That's
60
crazy.
episodes,
It's been like last one was 60. I think this one's 61.
bro. We've been, talking shit for over 2.5 years, and they passed like yesterday.
Which one?
I said we've been on for and chatting shit for 2.5 years. It
Yeah,
was, as
yeah.
we
It's
started,
been a
it was like
while.
yesterday.
Yeah, and Dave's been with us what now? Like good like 6 months, 5 months.
More than
Yeah,
that.
more or less 6, 7 months, I'd say. Right?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. It's been a good thing. Been a good thing running.
Hey, it feels like forever, man. Since we already know each other from Twitter,
Yeah.
So we just had to get rid of the initial, cobwebs of me being too respectful, not wanting to crack on Hristo, or me not wanting to make jokes about Mikey's hair or something like that.
Nah.
But now we good.
Nah.
No,
Yeah. I
Dave,
come on here with like a straight up like rat's nest sometimes. So
you
I
know,
mean,
Yeah, he's competing with Lotaro.
hey man, I got my edges. It's round. It's not. I don't have steps.
Sharp like.
Oh
you
man.
know, Dave, it's
What's
not
up?
really polite of you to say that about Mike because his team just won the World Series.
Oh come on.
Well,
Nah.
well, yours, the best player that you have is fucking Julius Randle. Like, calm down.
What?
How
What are you
you just
talking
comparing
about?
two teams, bro?
Yeah.
He just
I'm
Did you
just,
compared two
show? Did you show
sports. Two
NBA?
sports, you know?
yeah, bro.
he just
That's
wanted
what.
he just wanted to
Look,
show off his American sports
No. I mean
knowledge.
he's.
exactly, bro. I'm playing 3D chess, bro.
I'm right there with you, bro. Mikey's over here playing checkers, bro. Mikey's playing checkers.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yo,
No,
I
but I
said,
mean, no, I
I
know,
said
I
to
know.
Mike,
Dave probably. I don't know, Dave. I don't have anything with it. This is the only Atlanta sport that I have anything with. Dave, do you have the whole like fuck Trey Young Hawks mantra still going?
Bro, yeah, we cannot stand that, bro. Like, honestly, the way they sent us home last year with Trey Young showing off in front of the Garden, talking to the fans and stuff. I can't wait for that. That first game is gonna be physical. It's starting to be a rivalry, so I
bro,
can't wait for that. They're
I
playing
can
in the
finally
Garden
say
and for Christmas Day. I think they're playing in the Garden.
I'm
It's
changing this to Atlanta
always
Hawks.
Christmas Day. You're gonna get a
Fuck the
Hawk
See,
shirt
Knicks.
now?
bro,
Nah, you
listen,
don't
man,
want a
you
Hawk
can't.
shirt. You don't want to.
You
You
can,
don't want. You don't want Atlanta sports in your life. You don't want that.
at this point, I'm starting to believe that he's probably a low key Milan fan as well because this guy got no honor. He got no code up.
Bro,
No,
it
a
was a
man must
fucking
have a
gift.
code.
It was a
A man
gift.
must
It
have
doesn't mean
honor.
shit.
Oh my
Yo,
god.
it's gonna be fun. That's for sure. I want to see Dave suffer through his team. So yeah,
Now, Lucas the man for real.
Yeah, Luka Doncic. A lot of good European ballers in
Yeah,
the
yeah. I'm
NBA right
glad the
now.
game has gone global, man, and those European guys are starting to take over. It's not a American thing anymore.
invented by the Europeans. When
Was it?
Yugoslavia was playing,
No,
I'm
no,
just
No,
kidding.
it was,
When Yugoslavia
no.
was
I was
playing the
like,
US
did I
and
get
beating them,
It was actually invented
I was like, wait.
by a Canadian
ooh,
of all people.
Ugh.
wow.
All right.
Hey,
Well,
but hey, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. All right. This is what I want to wrap it up with. All right. Ian says, Hristo, say something in Macedonian in ASMR.
Yeah. Listen.
Pozdrav do sите što ne sluša. Se nadam da vi imate ova večer. Da vi vam sve nasite.
I don't want to know what that was. Nobody
I'm not gonna
translate
ask,
that.
bro.
Nobody translate that. I'm like, he's summoning demons now. We gotta get out of here.
The fact that he was too ready to do it, I don't like that, bro. He's so he had a line ready for us. So so the guy is.
I'm
on
just
to you.
improvising.
Oh.
Much love, bro. Much love.
All right, I think this is where we're gonna end this one. This has been really fun. We got a little off the rails here at the end.
A lot of the rails.
Yeah. We've moved to sports, languages, continents, everything.
Hey man,
we've covered the world.
Podcast.
We've covered
We're
the
a
world.
lifestyle
Brothers
podcast
of the
now.
world.
Yeah,
This
The
is
name says
everything.
itself.
Brothers of the world for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks to the chat, you guys really popping off here at the end. Like last time, they just wait till I think everyone's
Last
bored
minute,
at the
yeah,
end.
for real.
Yeah,
I guess
but,
we need to start. We need to start with the heat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, this was fun, guys.
Exactly with the heat. Woo!
Oh.
All right, I'm out of here, bro.
Okay, that was good.
All right, good podcast, guys. Good podcast.
Yeah, we'll end this one here. Thanks, guys. Great talk. We'll see everybody in the next one.
Ciao.